Right, so riding your bike through winter. I tend to do it. I'll still commute a few days a week on the bike. And if the weather's nice, I'll get out at the weekend. What do I consider in terms of sort of winter riding necessities? There's your bike. There's you. There's your kit. There's the road conditions. And there's the weather. I'll start with the easy one, you. So this is all about your head. So you're looking outside at the weather thinking, I'm going to ride my bike, but you're thinking, no, not quite sure about this, not quite sure about that, looks like it could be slippy, looks like it could be greasy. If you go out with that mindset, then you're going to be tense on the bike, and if you don't feel it, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't ride the bike if your mind isn't fully up to it, because you've got to concentrate so much harder. Got to leave yourself bigger stopping distances. You've really got to keep an eye out on what's happening around you, because people just are not used to seeing bikes in the winter. Next thing is your kit. So I've got Kais heated gloves, I've got a Kais heated jacket, and I've got waterproof jacket and trousers. That means I'm comfortable when I'm on the bike, even if it rains, as it is now. Heated grips, some people like them. I much prefer heated gloves. They plug into the bike, or you can get some with batteries. But they are typically about 120 quid, a bit more with the batteries. The waterproof gear I've got is the Oxford Mondial suit, and this is Oxford's own version of Gore-Tex Pro, in that it's a laminated jacket, meaning the water stays on the outside. Other jackets you can get have like an outer layer, a waterproof layer, often Gore-Tex, and then a thermal layer. So the difference between the laminated jacket and the layered sort of jacket is this jacket and trousers dry really quick, whereas the one made up of a liner and an outer jacket, the outer jacket gets soaking wet, and it stays soaking wet, and it will be cold when you put it back on. And it's all about being comfortable. If you're not comfortable, your concentration is slightly off. The other thing about your kit is you need to be visible. We got darker mornings, darker evenings, and as I mentioned already, people ain't looking for bikes. So what I'm wearing now is not ideal. Black helmet, black jacket. So unfortunately, the high-vis jacket comes out, and no, it hasn't got polite on the back. It's just a bog standard high-vis jacket I wear over the top of this. I also changed my helmet. I've got a white helmet, I put that on. That can have a side effect of people don't see many bikes, but when they do see a bike, it's ridden by a bloke with a white helmet and a high-vis jacket, and quite often they think you're a cop. So they get out your way. Sometimes. So another point to mention on your kit, it might be worth your while, if you can afford it, buying a new visor and pin lock for your helmet. Pin locks are good for stopping your visor misting up, and a new visor will help with that low winter sun and any scratches and things you have on your visor that that sun can actually blind you. You end up having to open your visor and freeze your eyes off. Next point is the weather. So can you imagine you set off and it's a grey overcast day like today, and then mid-afternoon a foot of snow drops down, not unheard of, or torrential rain, that's a bit more common, and you've got to get home. So check the weather forecast. Next thing is the road conditions. So if you're getting ready to go on your bike and the roads are icy or there's standing water on them, you got to ask yourself the question, are you really going to go out and ride in that? Some people do, not me. It's bad enough hitting a big puddle of standing water in a car. I don't want to experience that on a bike if I can avoid it. And if it's dark, the road is dark and the water's dark, so you can't see it. And if there's ice on the road, well, I have actually had the experience of hitting some black ice on my bike, and it's quite funny because your brain can't compute what's happened and you wonder why your bike is not handling very well, and the reason is because it's on its side. That leaves us with the bike. So number one, tyres. You're going to be riding in wetter conditions, so you want decent tread on your tyres. You don't want to be close to the minimum because you'll not have as much grip. Next thing is your bike needs to be visible. So fitting auxiliary lights, you can get for 20 quid off Amazon. Fitting auxiliary lights to your bike is a massive bonus, especially orange or amber ones. They tend to catch people's attention a lot more. It just makes you that little bit more visible. They don't do a lot to supplement your lights unless you buy something expensive like a Denali, but they certainly make you more visible, which is for me the point of them. I've got them on my other bike, my Tiger, and I'm going to fit some more on because that's the one I ride the most in the winter. You're trying to reduce any chance of a spidsy. Sorry I didn't see you, mate. And your bike needs to be in good mechanical condition because you don't want to break down in shit weather, do you? And then there's protecting the bike. So here in Britain, in the winter they put salt on the roads, and salt plus bike is not a good combination. So there's lots of treatments you can use. I use ACF 50 and I have a compressor so I can spray it on with a spray gun, which is probably the best way to do it. You can get aerosols of product, and because these are oily, it's always best to warm them up. So if you're using a spray can, then put it in some hot water for 10 minutes just to thin the oil out so it sprays on better. So before you put your protection on, you do need to give your bike a wash. It doesn't have to be a detailed wash, just a wash. Get all the surface muck off and put on your product of choice, be that wax oil, XCP, ACF 50, you name it. And don't believe these products when they say they last a year, because they don't. I put ACF 50 on my bike every 2 months during the winter, so I'll be doing that to this one when it gets home. And if you've been through some particularly rotty roads, lots of fresh salt, then I would suggest a wash and a reapplication. So they're my tips for winter riding. If you've got any good ideas, anything I've missed or anything you'd like to comment on, put it in the comments. Really interested to hear, because like I say, I do commute to work a couple of times a week throughout the winter, and yeah, it's a winter day today and it's absolutely beautiful outside. So
on a day like this, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you jump on your bike? So if you found that useful, give it a thumbs up, share it maybe. If you're not a subscriber, why not hit subscribe? Love to see you along on the channel again, and if you are a subscriber, thank you so much. Means a lot. Gordon from Up North Biker, keep safe and keep riding, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one.